I love the authenticity. Like the wisdom community holds it down. Episode's going to start here at 6:30. So just waiting for my guest here. So episode's going to start here at 6:30. So just waiting for my guest here. Oh wow. Interesting. Now, I'm live streaming on YouTube, but I'm getting all of this wonderful feedback. So if I do this, hang in there with me, wisdom. I'm just getting myself together. Neekee the Millennial is going to be on. We're going to talk about a multitude of subjects. She's on what's that? TikTok. She's also on Instagram. She's everywhere. And she does a lot of great stuff, a lot of funny stuff. So definitely go check her out. Yep. Yep. Oh, there she goes. There we go. Hey, Neekee, what is going on? I can't hear you yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
I mean, I've been waiting. I'm just like, let's get the show on the road.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Whenever we have people on, I like to obviously you know what? Let's just start with how was your day? It's Friday. You know, a lot of people getting off work, and we rolling.
Yeah, my day was pretty good. I've been excited about this interview too, and we actually have like a tornado watch in our area, which is crazy. It's not really bad weather. It's just really, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen anything. It's just really windy outside, but I mean, I'm just keeping an eye out for everything. But I don't think that this gonna happen personally. But
yeah, it can be like that sometimes, you know, with weather, because it can be real tricky. And you go, hey, it's a watch or it's a warning or one of those things, and you go, all right. All right. Do I leave? Do I do I get out of here, or what do I do?
Right. Because I had to actually pick up my daughter. They closed the school like an hour and a half early, and I was like, nothing was going on at all. But I guess they were just taking precautions, so it's all good.
Yeah, I mean I'm glad that everything's fine. Yeah. Okay. So whenever I have people on, I always do an intro. So, of course, I wrote one for you. And shout out to everyone listening and watching on YouTube. I'm live streaming on Wisdom as well. And yeah, I got Neekee the Millennial here. That's what she likes to go by. That's her name. That's her stage name, so to speak. Okay, so here we go. She's been married for 9 years to her high school sweetheart. That's so awesome. She's a girl mom, as you just heard. Got a daughter. She enjoys trying new foods. She loves Chick-fil-A. She reacts to trends and she also enjoys pranking her husband.
Yep,
She's a
definitely.
traveler, a hustler, and an entrepreneur. I present to you Neekee the Millennial.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's definitely me. All of that.
Oh, wait, I'm getting some feedback. Hold on. Give me a second.
All
All right,
right.
there we go. Yep. So excellent. I think I'm good now. Yeah, go ahead and check for me.
Is it everything good?
Yeah. We're good. We're good.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so you heard my whole intro, right?
Yeah.
Let's start off there. Okay, so I kind of had to do some digging. You've got over 1,500 videos posted online.
I did not know that. I thought it was 11.
Yes,
That's
1,500. Because I started off at TikTok and I'm like, okay, I see the number there, but like Instagram has a ton of videos, and then you got videos on YouTube. So I'm like, oh, okay, let's just go 1,500. I think it's about in that area. So what made you like kind of make that decision to go, all right, here we go. I'm just gonna jump right in, feet first, and we just gonna make this thing happen.
it started. It actually started like in 2017. It was all about me getting out there. Like I always been known as the quiet person, and all the time in my head, I'm not actually quiet. I have a million thoughts going through my head. I'm a creative person. I have a million things that I want to do and show the world. So I found a way to bring out my creativity through video. So I would just start making videos. Like it started kind of like after my daughter was born. I would just start making videos, like filming our lives, everything as we go,
Yeah.
like for the memories and stuff like that. I would start filming those. I would start doing like quotes or
Right.
motivational videos and things like that. And it just like over the years, I just had a whole bunch of videos that
Yeah.
just, racked up. And then like with TikTok, it started in 2020 when the pandemic started. I didn't
Yes.
think that I was gonna get a TikTok. I already had all those videos compiled, like just videos here and there of my everyday life with my
Just
family.
having fun.
Yeah, just having fun. So it's like when with TikTok, we was at home and I was bored. So I just started to do my research on YouTube. I was like, this is a pretty cool app. And I was like, I'm putting my videos on here, but I can actually, make this a thing. And I started doing like reaction videos. I would find people would make the craziest food combinations, or they would do something really crazy with food, like something
Right.
really outlandish. And I would
Yeah.
react to it. I would react to the video. And those videos started to take off. And it was like, I didn't initially know what I wanted my niche to be, like food or anything. So it's kind of like food and family. So I just kept on with it. I saw that everybody liked those videos. They love to see
Okay.
like crazy food combinations. Like I did one
Yeah.
video
What
where
was the video like? Okay, I'm gonna stop you. Like, what was the video that you made and it just started to kind of gain some traction? Do you remember which one that was?
I definitely can remember that. The videos before that was okay, but the one that actually started to gain traction was the one that I actually got my husband to do a video with me. I didn't think that he would even want to do, videos with me like that,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's kind of behind the scenes a little bit. So I just thought of this idea of like cornbread. It was like cornbread or whatever. So,
I saw that.
yeah, I was like, okay, we husband and wife, every day ain't gonna be no good day. Sometimes your husband, your spouse will get on your nerves sometimes, but you still love them. So
Uh-huh.
like I could make this, with us being petty or whatever, I can make this into something funny versus it being just
Yes.
negative. So I was like, I should make a video about me kind of being upset with him and he just being petty. Like, it would be really funny. So I was like, I came up with this idea. I was like, corn and bread. Like, I can ask you to make me some cornbread and you actually make cornbread. So
you came up with those videos, those ideas? Because there's a bunch of them.
Those ideas. I saw something. I saw something similar to that, but I came up with my own idea of the video. I came up with my own idea, and I just ran with it. It's like, after that, everybody in the comments were asking for different foods, and it kind of goes in hand in hand with teaching too, because those are compound words. So I was like,
look
I'm
at
kind
you.
of like a nerd. Kind of like a nerd. I love compound words. So I just started writing down all of these compound words that are foods, and people were asking in the comments. They would ask for like cheesecake, cheese sticks, and we just like all of the.
Which one is your favorite?
Which one is my favorite?
Yeah.
I had to say cornbread because that was the one right there, because I knew that it got 1 million views. It got 1 million views on TikTok.
The Butterfinger one was funny too.
Yeah, that was
like
that was the best one. That was it right there. I love that video.
Yeah, when I'm so like, as the host, right? Because I always look at it as just, we're here just having conversations. We just kicking it. But I'm always like, okay, let me look up stuff and try to go find things like sometimes that my guests, they don't remember. Like, oh man, that was so long ago. Where'd you get that from? So when you start doing the pranks, and like the one with the skin, you was like, I'm about to prank my husband, tell him we moving to Africa.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness, this is funny.
I was so nervous. Doing that prank. I was like, I don't know. But I was like, let me just do it because it's gonna be funny either way. It was.
And like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, your husband's still gonna love you. Like, it's either gonna be funny or it's not gonna be funny.
Yeah. And with the skin peeling one, he, like, right off the bat, he already knew that it was a prank. I was like, oh man. But I still posted it. The video, even though he knew it was a prank, because I just want to show, the realness of that. So
yeah, it's part of it. It's like, okay, because kind of the next video you go, okay, I didn't get him last time. It's kind of a game with your audience. Like, I didn't get him last time, but I'm gonna get him this time. I'm gonna get him.
Right.
And like, that's how these things can evolve organically. Like, over time, something unplanned can happen, and then you go, oh, wait a second, like, that's kind of good. Like, I can keep that going.
Yeah, that's definitely how it is. And that's the thing about doing video. Like, you never know what's gonna happen, and it's like, because it's funny and it's entertaining, and you can be yourself. Like, you can just be creative. You can be yourself through video. That's what I love about video. Like, I really love
just let it roll.
Yep, I just let it roll.
So, like, have you ever had any videos or ideas that you posted and it didn't work as much as you thought it would? Oh, you know what? Different question. Have you ever made something and then didn't post it because you didn't think it was going to be good?
Yes. Actually, I held off on posting that cornbread video. Like, I wasn't gonna, like, I really wasn't gonna post it. I told my husband, I was like, I don't think nobody gonna like it, because it was different. It was different from the reaction.
It's kind of corny, but it's like, that's dumb.
Yeah, it's just something so simple, it's something so simple, but it's like, it's just entertaining. I really wasn't gonna post it. Like, I'm like, what if I didn't post it? Like, it would be so different now if I didn't post that video. So I try to be confident and know that some things will work out and some things won't work out. And it's just a part of life. You just have to know that sometimes it's just life. Like, things will work out and some things won't work out. And either way, you know what your audience likes, because you'll know what they react to. So
And
Now
then you have to like adjust right from there and learn from it.
yeah. So now I kind of learned, what my audience would like, and I just post, even if I think if I'm not confident in it, I still post because I can learn from it. If it doesn't do good, I still can learn from it. So I still post.
And sometimes the things that you don't think are any good, sometimes that's the stuff that people like. You go, really? I like this. Okay, I got other stuff like this. I can post more stuff like this easy.
Yeah, it's crazy how it works like that. It's like the video that you just do so much for is like it's okay. But the video that you don't, it's just random. It seems like that's the one that goes viral for me. It's crazy. I don't know how it works like that, but it's crazy.
So I know, like when we were doing our like pre stuff and we just talked, you said family was really important to you, and you have a daughter and she's pretty young. How old is your daughter?
She is 5 years old.
5 years old. So my son is 10 months and he had a fever last night, right? So my number here is gonna be 100.8 because that's what the fever was.
Yeah.
And I think that was the first time, like last night was the first time I was like, dang, like my son is having some issues. And I'm like, I need to pray. Like because like some stuff is big, some stuff is small. And when you're going through it for the first time, you don't really know like where that's gonna fall. And then, like with fevers, there's a certain number that if you get to it, then it's kind of serious. So I was just like, okay, but it's the first time I felt really like uneasy. Like, so just kind of, if you have any stories like that, where the first time you feel like, oh dang, like my daughter is like in trouble, or it made you emotional.
Wow. Okay. This is okay.
I don't open up the box now.
Yeah, I get really emotional when it comes to it. So basically, it was a few years ago. I think my daughter was like 2. Yeah, she was like 2. So I had got home early and my husband was still at work. I usually pick her up from daycare at that time. So I asked him to pick her up so I could just take a nap because I was tired. And he picked her up from work. I mean, he picked her up after he got off from work. And I went to sleep, not thinking, anything. So I was like, let me just get a little bit of sleep, before they come home, because, that was my quiet time right there.
Right.
I don't
Which
know
is not that much of anymore.
Yeah, I don't know how my phone was not on. The ringer was not on. So I woke up like 3 hours later. It was like 3 o'clock. I woke up at like 6 o'clock. I'm like, they're not here.
Yeah,
I checked my phone and I had like a bunch of missed calls, and he said that they had gotten into an accident.
No.
So I jumped up so fast. I'm like, oh my God, like I felt so guilty. Like, how in the world could my phone not be, loud for me to hear? Like, I just laid down for a few seconds to get some sleep, and I slept so hard. I'm like, how could my phone be on silent? How could I let this happen? And I blame myself, but luckily they were okay. Everything was okay. The car was gone, but
thank God.
Thank God they were okay. They're good. So that was one time that I was worried. So I was like, I just prayed. It took a lot of prayer.
Yeah.
I hauled tail to the emergency room, but it just took a lot of prayer, because I'm like, oh man, like I couldn't be there when my husband needed me.
Right.
We could get there and take them to the hospital or something, and I couldn't be there with my daughter. But thank God they were okay. So that was one time where I was very worried.
You kind of feel like you let them down, even though you had no control of the situation.
Yeah.
Like, but they called me. I should have been able to answer the phone.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah, that reminds me of, it's a story. So I lived in China, and we could talk about travel here in a second, because I know you want to travel, and I know that's something that you want to do. But I lived in China for a year with my wife, and we I think it was an off day, and she has bad asthma, especially over there where the air quality is not as good. Like it's really rough. Anybody who has asthma is gonna be you're gonna have a tough time, especially if you live in one of the bigger cities. We lived in like a medium city, population 25 million. So
What?
yeah, yes, it goes down because like Shanghai and Beijing, they have like 50 million people in those cities.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. So over there, we didn't drive, like we didn't have a car or anything, because really the driving over there is dangerous. Like I'm just gonna be honest with you, people cannot drive there, and so she was starting to have an asthma attack. And the hospital, I mean, it wasn't too far, like if you got a car, but if you don't, and like we got these motor scooters, and you go, like, can we get there using this method of travel in this situation? And the answer was really no. So at that point, you got, okay, as a man, like you want to protect your family. Like I want to make sure my wife is okay. But I'm like, how are we gonna do this? I guess we got to call a cab, but we didn't know Chinese and we didn't drive cab, we didn't ride in cabs all the time. So it was like, oh man, like luckily, or well, thankfully, thank God my friend who did have a car, he was at home and he was able to take us there and he helped us out and he spoke Chinese inside the hospital. But like there are times where you just feel totally helpless. And you go
Yeah.
like, all right, okay, Lord, here we go. Show up for me again. Hopefully. I need you. So
Thank that your friend was there. Wow.
yeah. And like he's a school teacher and it was a weekday. No, he wasn't a teacher, he was like a counselor. But you just think like, he's supposed to be at school. So, whatever dots connected to where he was able to stay home, like I'm thankful for that because, could have went a different way.
Yeah.
But you and your husband are high school sweethearts.
Yes.
Please, I need to hear the story.
Okay. So I was I met him on, it used to be like before MySpace, there was a website called Tag. I don't know if you ever heard.
Okay, I thought you was gonna say Black Planet.
No, not Black Planet, but it's kind of like MySpace. I think they're still around. And some kind of way we met on there because we were like close in the area. He lived like the next city to me. And for like a year, we were just friends. I didn't.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, for a year, we were just friends. We were communicating on there, talking on the phone and everything like that. He was very persistent, like not in no crazy way, but every now and then he would bring it up, like that he was.
What's up?
Yeah, like that and stuff. So, he actually, it was his graduation night. He could have been anywhere else. It's your graduation night. You high school. Some people go out partying and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
He could have been anywhere else. We were just still friends, but he came down. I live like 40 minutes away from him. He came and he saw me, and he actually came like on my birthday and everything. It was like my first time seeing him, really. So
how long had y'all been talking when that happened?
A year.
Ooh.
A whole year. And so like when he came down and kind of like took me on a date, like we went to the movies.
Of course. Like that's like one of the go-tos.
Yeah, that was the
thing. What y'all go see?
My mom was questioning him. I still remember that day. She asked him for his license. She asked him who his mom and dad is.
Yeah.
She gave him the whole rundown. She was like, who is this?
Pull up, Mom.
Who is this? She's like, who is this coming to see my daughter? So yeah. And I mean, we had fun that night. And so I thought about it. I was like, if he's doing all this, like his graduation night, he could be anywhere else, but he came down to see me. He must really be interested. And then, like, I guess something clicked in me, like sometimes girls are stubborn and stuff like that. I guess something clicked in me, like, I really, really do like him. I should give this a try. And so on my birthday, we made it official, like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Wow.
And so I think I was like in 11th grade. Yeah, I was like in 11th grade. So he graduated like a year before me.
Mm-hmm. And
it's just we've been inseparable since then. I can't say big words sometimes. we've been best friends since then.
What's your favorite part about marriage?
My favorite part about marriage is that you have somebody that knows you, like, even when you don't think, like, it surprises me how some things I don't think he knows. He does know them because he studies me and he knows who I am. Yeah, so that's my favorite part. What would you say is your favorite part about marriage?
First of all, shout out to Eric. I think your husband's name is Eric, right?
Yes. I think I'm not sure. I think he's watching.
Hey, pull up, Eric. You the man. I'm just gonna let you know that we gotta have both of y'all together and DM me and my wife on so we could do like a tag team podcast kind of thing. But that's down the road. That's down the road. Okay. Let's see. My favorite part, and this is like one of the best qualities that my wife has, is somebody that's gonna support you no matter what. Like no matter what, my wife. Shout out to Kia. She may or may not be listening right now because she's got homework to do. But she supports me in everything, like whatever. Like, so it was my idea to go to China. She was like, all right, let's do it. I'm like, wait, what? You saying yes? Like we could go? Because like I didn't think that she would want to. Like there would be a little more apprehension, but I've gained her trust to so much that she just trusted that I wouldn't put us in a bad situation. And so like, she's just so supportive. I'm like, I want to do a podcast. She's like, all right, let's do it. I want to be a teacher. It's like, no matter what it is, like she supports me as long as, now, of course, there's a flip side. She just wants to know that I have a plan. Like I'm not just running into something, just jumping into anything, but she wants to know like, okay, have you thought this out? Like, have you answered the questions? And I need somebody like that to ask those questions too, because, it's both of us. It's not just my life. And now it's my son's life as well, Carter's life. And sometimes like you might have an idea, but you really need somebody to poke holes in your idea so that you could fill them. And so now your boat will float, so to speak, just to use a nice metaphor. But yeah, my wife is very supportive. That's my favorite part about marriage, is just having somebody that supports me. And I mean, like you said, like somebody that knows you. And sometimes like it'll come out the blue and with little things. And so like, okay, if she goes to Chick-fil-A, she knows exactly what I don't even have to be there. Yeah. Because I know you love Chick-fil-A. Yep. We just great quality food.
I just had a conversation with him about this. Yep.
Yes, I saw that video. I saw that. Okay. And I was like, yeah. I think I saw like some, because y'all just went all the way left. I love it though. Like I love it. That's how it's supposed to be. So, but you like, what you mean? Like this is the best quality.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A is good. They didn't have Chick-fil-A's in Detroit, like where I'm from.
Wow.
And I didn't have that till I got down here in Houston.
Wow.
Hey, go ahead. Oh, wait, quick reset. Shout out to everybody listening on Wisdom. Thank you everybody for watching on YouTube on the live stream. I have Neekee the Millennial here from TikTok, from Instagram, YouTube as well. So she posts, she's an influencer and she's cool. So I brought her on. All right. Had to do a quick little reset there. All right, go.
Yeah, I get so surprised at like some restaurants are not in other places, because I think what's the name of that restaurant? I do a video on everything, but it's some
Wait,
restaurant.
Culver's. It's Culver's.
Oh, we just got a Culver's in Georgia, but in my city. We just got a Culver's.
Oh, okay.
It was
because I
good.
saw you did a video on that one too.
Yeah, it was good. I tried it for the first time. It was really good. And I think they're up north, Wisconsin, I think.
Culver's is on the West Coast. And I actually tried it for the first time too. I want to say it was late last year, because it wasn't here in Houston either. But we have one now. It's kind of far too, but a friend of mine, she lived in Arizona, and she was like, "You gotta try Culver's. Like, it is good." And so we went, and yeah, it's legit.
Yeah, it's legit. The burgers and the ice cream was legit. And actually, the restaurant I was talking about is Whataburger. Do y'all have Whataburger?
Yes.
I tried it. I live right in the middle of Georgia, and man, I found they sell the sauce in the store, but we don't have it. And I want to try it so bad. So like maybe when I travel to Texas one day or wherever it is, I'll get to try it. Cause
let me tell you, if you like Culver's, then Whataburger, you're gonna be all right. Because I would say that they're comparable. Because I'm a huge Whataburger fan. My dad does not like Whataburger. He is a bum for that. I love you, Dad. But he does not like Whataburger. And I love Whataburger. I might go get some after this podcast is over. But I love Whataburger, and that's what I put like right up there with Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A and Whataburger, like neck and neck. Some people don't think so, but hey, now Culver's is right there as far as quality. So if you like Culver's, I think you like Chick-fil-A.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely got to try it out. Like, I'm going to do a video about it too. You should. Yep.
Yes.
Video about everything. Yep. That video going to be coming.
Food is huge. So I saw like that you had that flaming hot soda. Did you try it?
Yeah, I did. I saw that you tried it. I saw that you.
Yeah.
I didn't do it on video, but I made a video just showing it. But I didn't do the reaction to it on the video. But I like some weird stuff. It wasn't hot though. It wasn't hot.
No, it wasn't hot. It wasn't hot. I think at least for me, and I did this on a video too. I was in class, and one of my students was like, "Hey, like, you want this?" I'm like, "Wait a second, I don't really mess with hot stuff like that. Like, I want to enjoy my food. Like, I don't want to be sweating and I need milk and bread. No, like, I like to enjoy my food. Spicy is good, but hot I don't mess with it." But he was like, "It's not hot." He's like, "Have you ever had one of those?" I forgot the name of it, but it's an orange soda. It's an orange Mexican soda. I was like, "No." He's like, "It's not hot." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna try it." And of course, since I have a TikTok now at Tony Rambles _Tony Rambles, I'm like, okay, let me put this on video, because everything is about sharing and putting it on video, blah blah blah. So I get the soda, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And I tasted, and it was good. It tastes like an orange soda, but I felt like it was a little heat, like at the end, like the aftertaste. It was like something that you don't expect from a soda. It wasn't like hot, but you go, wait a second, that's a little something back there.
Yeah, it was a little bit of heat. It kind of reminds me of like the Red Hots candy, like the cinnamon candy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But it was okay.
It was okay. It's not something that I'm going to buy.
Yeah.
Not at all. Okay. So, but you say you like to travel.
Yeah, I do.
Where have you been, like, in the States?
Well, as far as traveling now, I'm kind of in the beginning stages, because I'm trying to save up. I'm trying to build this career, and I'm
Yeah,
trying to save
traveling costs money.
time. That's what my goal is, to travel and show, through video. But
Right.
so far, I've only been on the East Coast. But I know I'm speaking it into existence. I want to be able to travel the world. I want to, I want to go to. I've never been to Texas. I've never been to California. I only been everywhere on the East Coast, like from Florida all the way up to New York. I've been to all those states. But as far as traveling anywhere else, I haven't been. So that's what this is all about. Like me being able to get out of my comfort zone, me being able to have the life that I want and show my daughter, show my husband, show my family another side of the world, because social media is amazing. People are, people are getting wealthy and rich from social media. And, I'm monetized as well. I'm not there yet. I'm monetized like on Facebook and TikTok, but I'm working on, it's all a process. It's all a process, but I'm working on it. So I want to.
Where you been on the East Coast?
On the East Coast, I've been to Florida. I live in Georgia. I've been to South Carolina, Washington, D.C. I've been to New York, Niagara Falls. I actually saw Canada, but I didn't go to Canada. Like, Falls is like right there, and you can look over the water and see Ontario. So that's how it works for me. I was in awe because I didn't get to see, growing up in poverty or whatever. It was just amazing to be able to get that experience. And so this is all about, just trying to, dig up out of poverty and be able to be wealthy and have that experience, because I don't want my daughter to live the same life that I did. And kudos to mom. I don't know if she's watching. She did the best she could, and I love her for that. We all, I just had love and everything. So kudos to her. She made it happen.
Yeah, I think just traveling gives you a little more perspective about what's out there, and you being so close to Canada and going, well, like, wait a second, that's another country, like basically right across the street. It's that close. Like, I could touch it. Like this water that I'm touching with my hand in, like this water been in Canada. I can get there too.
That was crazy. I love the experience.
Yeah, and Detroit is like, it's the same thing. So if you go to downtown Detroit, and you got the river there that goes and it separates Canada and the United States. So you can literally see on the other side, Windsor, and you like, dang, like that's Canada. It's that close. Like that's another country. Yeah. When I took my wife there for the first time, she had that same kind of reaction. Like that's Canada right there. Like, yep, that's it. Right across the bridge or right through the tunnel or right across the water.
That's amazing.
So like internationally, I mentioned I lived in China. And so I sent this to you. I don't know what you came up with, but Brittany Griner, and this is our next number here, has been in jail for 49 days in Russia, of all places right now.
Heard about that.
And yeah, that's tough. Hopefully she gets home safely and soon. But where are some places that you definitely would not want to go and some places that you would?
We're going to start off by saying Russia.
Yeah. Let's put that on our list.
It's crazy. I did a TikTok live the other day, right? So you can get people to join your TikTok live. So I get people to join my live, like they can request to be in my live. So I get people from all over. I had people from China, and I had people from Poland or something like that. But I actually had somebody join my live, and they said, I asked them where they were from. They said they were from Russia. So it's like, I really didn't know what to do, with everything going on at that moment. Yeah. So I just had to, just get out of that situation. But Russia.
You go, all right, cool. Shout out to you.
I was like, it's all good. So Russia would be the first place that I don't think I want to go. Yes. And Can you say the question again? Did you say the first place that I don't want to go and the first place that I do want to go?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. So yeah, Russia would be no. And the first place that I would want to go, the first place that I would want to go is probably, oh man, it's hard. I'm in between Africa and Japan.
Okay. Why?
I just like
Which one?
Japan's culture, but at the same time, Africa, you know, this where my bloodline from.
Yeah, that's the homeland. What you mean?
Yeah, I found out that I have to look at my family tree, but my cousin, like my second cousin, he had all of the papers on my family tree, and he found out that my family came from Sierra Leone. So it was amazing to actually find out, you know, exactly where my family came from. And they got off on the ship in South Carolina, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But I think I would say Africa. I want to like experience that culture and just see what they do, just the realness of it, you know, not even, you know, I have my phone and I do video all the time. I want to experience something where I don't even have to have my phone in my hand, just experience real life with people and just see, you know, how they do. And I would love
what the life is really like.
Yeah.
There are people here that are from Africa, but they're now in bringing the African culture to America. But it's not the same as being in Africa where it all, you know, presides and living in it. So, I mean, Africa is definitely high on the list. My brother and I, we talked about something like this on, I think it was like episode 33 or 34 with my brother Troy. And we said, like, if you had a door that could take you anywhere, I think that was the question. And I think he did say Africa. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. But I think I had a couple of them. And you said Japan. That was also one of mine. China is always like on the list because I have friends over there that I would love to be able to see again. Like, I don't know when I'm going to be able to go back to China. Like this, you know, I got a, you know, a son now. It's not, you can't just hop on a plane and do whatever you want. I mean, you could, but that's not the kind of life that I have at this point. But, and then Africa was also one for me for the same exact reasons. I don't have any papers, so I don't know exactly where my lineage, you know, I guess you would say begins, you know, over there, but it would be nice to see. I think there's that connection for, I think, most Black people that, you know, what does home look like for us?
Because
yeah, go.
Yeah, because it's like you say, it's different when you actually experience it. Like you can experience it here, but when you actually experience it like live and in the flesh, it's like it's just so different. So what would be a country that you think you would not want to go to?
Anywhere where they blowing people up.
Okay. I got you.
Anywhere where there's like civil war or unrest. I know that's in a bunch of different places around the world. But as long as things are, I feel like, relatively peaceful, I'd love to just see different cultures and see the world. I guess if I had to, I don't know, like if I had to pick, like there's a lot of stuff going on in the Middle East that I wouldn't want to be a part of, but I'm sure there are places over there as well that have some peace and beauty and all that kind of stuff that will welcome, you know, people from America, but that's not always the case. So anywhere that I'm welcome and it's not a bunch of fighting, then like, I'm good. But sure, like Nigeria, because I know a lot of people from Nigeria. Being in Houston, there's a lot of people from Nigeria here, and I would like to see what that culture looks like in person. So we are going to talk about culture here.
Okay.
And I don't know how it is in Georgia, but people in Texas like their guns. So my number here is 9mm.
All right.
Because that's a kind of gun. I know guns mostly from playing video games. Like, I'm not like a gun person, but that's kind of something that is always like a back and forth thing. Like, do you have any guns?
I'm working on it. I don't have none now, but probably later. Probably later.
So like this story, I went to the gun place yesterday because I was trying to find a suit for my cousin's wedding. I wasn't trying to find a suit in the gun place, but I got the suit and it was next to a gun place.
Hey.
Just to clarify. So I walk into the gun place and I'm like, all right. It's almost like a little uncomfortable because it's definitely out of my element. Like, I don't know like about rifles and, AKs and 9mm and Glocks and Desert Eagles and stuff. Only what I see from the video games. So I go in and there isn't anyone that looks like me in there, which I was not surprised. And the first person I talked to is, he's pretty nice. Like, okay, so I don't really know anything about guns. So like, where do I start? So he was like, as long as you have a license, I don't know how it is in Georgia, but as long as you're a Texas resident and you could clear a background check, then you could basically buy a gun. They just recently passed that not too long ago. Now, carrying, I think, is a different story, being able to walk around with it, but I could buy a gun and have it at my house. So I'm like, okay, so what kind of gun do I, can you tell me about some guns? And the guy's like, oh no, like that's not my job. Like, those guys over there, they know about the guns. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me go talk to these guys. Older gentleman. I go up to the counter and of course there's a bunch of like bigger guns hanging up, like rifles, machine guns. And then there are the handguns like in the glass case. So the guy's just kind of standing there and I'm looking and he's like, can I help you with something? And I go, yeah, I'm looking for something just to have at home, just in case happens. And he's like, well, you probably want to go with something like a 9mm. And that was it. Like, that's all he said. Like,
wow. No, like no.
No, exactly. I'm like, okay. I'm waiting for like the next thing. But that was it. And so I'm like, my money ain't no good here. Like, that's always how I feel when people ignore me somewhere. Because if I'm going in a place, more than likely, and I'm pretty sure there's tons of people that go into places with no intention of buying anything. But I'm like, okay, like if I want to buy something, I can. But just no, and I walked around for long enough. It wasn't anybody really in there. It was one other person. Yeah. And he talked about buying a gun for his 6-year-old. Whoa. Yeah, it's so, culturally it's just different. Like, so this guy was just, yeah, I got this in the car and it's this kind of gun and I need to buy this. I think he was talking about some kind of scope for it. And he was like, I just need to get it put on. Like, it doesn't really matter how much it is. Like, can I just bring it in? And it was like, all right, yeah, sure, go get it. That was the only other person in there. It's two guys that are kind of working this counter. But I just really felt like I wasn't welcomed. Like, they weren't interested in helping me at all. And I just felt like, why do I need to spend my money here? Yeah. Like, what kind of customer do they expect me to be, to just come in there and just, you don't have to help me. You can ignore me and I'm still going to spend my money here? Absolutely not. Have you ever had like any kind of interactions like that? Because you live in the South as well. And, depending on where you go, things can be a little dicey.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see. First of all, I could definitely see where you come from because, if you say that they weren't even busy, it could have helped you out a little bit more. Yeah. So
something.
With me, being where I'm from, living in Georgia, I do deal with it. Sometimes I try to ignore it because, to be honest, it's like not in a bad way or whatever, but it's like it happens. It happens a lot, to be honest. It
Wow,
happens
really?
so much. Sometimes it happens a lot to where I'm not saying ignore it. I'm saying it happens so much to sometimes where I had ignored myself because I know I'll get mad.
Right. You're about
And
to go off.
yeah, like I feel like I'm gonna go off, and that's not a good thing. But most of the time, like I do, I'm saying I do acknowledge it. And I'm like, why?
Like, wait a second.
Why am I
Like,
being treated
that
like
was
this?
racist.
Yeah. Like, why am I being treated like this? Like, everything go through my head, and I'm like, why am I being treated like this? Like, I'm just like a normal person. And I feel like sometimes I can get profiled, especially for having these. I feel like I get profiled. I'm the nicest person in the world. I'm friends with people from everybody, like
all over.
White people, Mexicans, everybody. But
they see a black person with locks, they go, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to help them.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. Like, it's crazy how it.
So tell us a story for the people listening on Wisdom and the people watching on YouTube and the people who will be listening, who knows, 10 days, 10 years from now. Tell us a story about like where it kind of went left, and then tell us a story about like where it wasn't as bad as it seemed. Hopefully you got one of each.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I'm trying to. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so this is crazy. I mean, this is crazy. Like,
uh-oh.
I was on my way to work.
Mm-hmm. How long ago?
That was before I had my child. So I'll probably say 2014, 2015.
Okay, all right.
I used to drive a red Impala with rims on it. So, automatically, you probably know it's a black person driving. So I don't know what happened. It was dark. It was probably like 5 o'clock in the morning.
So you was out that late or that early?
Yeah, I used to go into work at 5. Yeah, I used to go into work at 5. I used to be a correctional officer, so we had to go in like early.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so I don't even know how this happened, but it's like I was on the road. I was going good speed. I wasn't speeding or anything. I was just going, like, I guess I was going too slow. So somebody comes up behind me, big Dodge Ram truck, lights blaring all through my car. So I know they could see all through my car. They were on my tail. So I'm scared because it's dark and there's nobody else on this road.
Right.
So I'm like, do I speed up? Do I go kind of slower? Like, I already was going kind of slow.
Right.
So I kind of slowed down so they can go ahead and pass me. I was like, please just pass me. I don't know, what you want.
Go on about your way. Just get out of here.
So they passed me. I saw who it was in the truck. It was a Caucasian male. They passed me, but it happened so fast. They passed me, went around me, and slammed on brakes so I could like hit their truck. They shot a bird out of their hand, stuck out of their window, and they shot a bird. I don't know what the purpose was, but I was just praying during this time. Like, luckily I didn't hit them. I wasn't close enough to hit them, but I could tell they were trying to get me to like try to run me off the road.
Wow.
So scared, I did not know what to do at that time. Most people would say, get their tag number, but you're in shock. Like, you're not even thinking about it. You're trying to survive. So it just happened so fast. And after that, I guess they got what they wanted. They wanted to make me scared. They took off after that. I don't know where they went, but that was one moment where I knew that, it was something.
Right. Things can get a little dicey, around, wherever you were at that time.
Yeah. So that was crazy, but thank God I made it out of that. And you said the other question was
I guess a good one and a not so good one. So I guess that's the not good one. What's the one where you go, oh, okay, like that ended well?
oh, okay. So I guess I could say one that ended well is, I met somebody, when you meet somebody the first time, everybody not gonna receive you. And it's not just
Right.
it's not just a person being racist or anything. It could just be they just don't know you, or they just don't know how to communicate with you. So
Right.
like I walked in the room, I was being all nice saying, hey, the person didn't receive me well. And this was like at another job. So I'm like, wow, what did I do? Like, I'm being nice or saying, hey, but it's like after a while, we built that rapport and we were cool with each other. It wasn't even, a situation where they were racist or anything. It was just that they just were a quiet individual and they just, it just might have been a bad day because the whole time at work, I never had a problem with them going forth. So, that was a good ending right there.
That's good how things can work out. And it's good like that you don't automatically just jump to conclusions, and that you didn't like, I guess I don't want to say make a mountain out of a molehill, but you didn't escalate the situation. You're like, okay, I'm just gonna continue being myself and being nice and being a good person, and hopefully that will get the person to kind of drop their guard, and then you can build that rapport and things will go over smoothly, which it sounds like it did. And I think that's always the best first course of action, is to continue to deal in kindness and to work in love and to try to be a good person and see if things change. Because too often, like, we want to jump to conclusions, take everything personal, and now like you go, I don't want to mess, I don't mess with that person, I don't fool with them, I don't like them. When really you might have just caught them on a bad day, or they're an introvert, like they don't necessarily know how to talk to people and relate to people right off the bat.
Yeah. So has anything happened where it turned out good for you?
Like with the cops.
Oh wow. If it turned
Okay, my turn. So I had a couple of interactions where I was either speeding, more than likely, and I've gotten stopped where it's like I don't have any like insurance. I really thought insurance was optional when I was younger. I'm like, insurance, that stuff costs too much, I'm not paying for that. Because I was 19 years old with a 2007 Mustang, so it was basically brand new.
Wow.
It was black, it was nice, it was legit. I felt like the man in that car.
Wow.
Yeah, I had that. And so obviously as a 19-year-old, I'm a good driver, but I speed. And so insurance is high. And so I just like stopped paying for it. I really thought I didn't have to have it. And so I had got stopped a few times, and, people have let me off with warnings with that kind of stuff. And so that's why my first interactions with police officers, they weren't bad. So I didn't have that stigma right off the bat, like, oh, I don't like cops, I don't mess with them, because I hadn't really had any bad interactions with them. Then there was a time where I don't remember if it was the weekend or not. No, it was a weekday. And I was riding in a Mercury Cougar. I don't remember what year it was, but this was by no means a flashy car. It wasn't red. It was a pale chip and paint blue, very unassuming, non-threatening vehicle. I was not speeding. I was just in the neighborhood, coming from the barbershop where my aunt worked. And I got stopped. And at this point, I have a muscle shirt on because the car does not have AC. I used to keep a roll of paper towels in the back seat, because it would get that hot. And I'm on my way to work. I worked at exactly.
Yep.
And I worked at iMasters where I had to wear a suit basically. So I would drive to work, no shirt on, no jacket, all hanging in the back seat with just like the muscle shirt on. That's neither here nor there. At this point, I wasn't going to work. I was going home. And I get stopped. Whoop, whoop. You know, the lights come on, your heart drops, the pit in your stomach happens. I don't know if everybody feels like that, but I know a lot of people that look like me do, unfortunately. So I'm like, all right, here we go. I was in the car with my brother, who is D-Lo, I think is 6 years younger than I am. So he's a teenager at this point. And he's sitting in the car. And we're like, all right, did I do something? I don't think I was speeding. And they come up and they're like, license, registration, blah, blah, blah. At this time, I believe I had insurance and all that stuff. I was good. I give them my stuff and they're like, what you guys doing today? They start asking those kind of questions. I'm like, oh man, okay. I've not, at this point, I hadn't had any bad interactions with police officers. And so, but the stories, I'm not naive to the things that can happen. So let's just start asking questions. What are you guys doing? Where are you guys going? My brother had this debit card. He was paying a bill with it. And they're like, whose card is that? And I'm like, wait, like, why am I being stopped? Like, that's the real question. And they said I was being stopped for faded license plates. Faded license plates. I'm like, at that point, pun intended, the sirens in my head went off. I'm like, oh man, this is one of those stops. But I couldn't hold my tongue. Like, I wasn't there yet in life. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, faded license plates? Really? And so that's when, things started to get physical, I would say, and not on my part. At this point, I'm probably like 150 pounds, 5'8.5". Like, I'm not really doing much. But you know what I'm saying? I'm athletic. You know what I'm saying? So don't try me. So I'm like, faded license plates. Are you serious? Like, that's what you're stopping me for? I think I said something like that. And so I think I reached over to my brother. I did something. I made some kind of movement, I guess. And the guy puts his arm in the car and he puts it across my chest, like up here by my collarbone. And at this point, I'm like, this is where the real smart aleck comes out. I'm like, what? Are you serious? Like, all of this over faded license plates? Are you serious? I don't have nothing better else to do. And so that's when they're like, get out the car, get out the car. I'm like, seriously? Like, why do I have to get out the car? So of course they pull me out the car. So he's on the side with me and the other officers on the other side with my brother. And so I don't even know what was going on with my brother. I don't think they were harassing him. I guess because he wasn't driving. And so they're like, get out the car. And so they take me out the car. They didn't slam me on the ground, thank God. I was on like the hood and they put me in handcuffs and they put me in the back of the cop car. And the whole time I'm just like annoyed and irritated. I'm like, are y'all seriously stopping me over nothing? Faded license plates? That's so fake. And so he's like, we can ruin your life. Like, you'll never be able to go to college. He's saying stuff like that. And like, I sat back there for a minute. I guess they ran the plates or did whatever they needed to do. And then they just let me go.
Wow.
I was just like, over faded license plates. That's what I just kept saying. Like, that's it. Like, over faded license plates, y'all don't have anything else to do. Like, this is why I'm being stopped and bothered. Like, I just couldn't believe it because I couldn't fathom like that they would stop me. Cause I kind of I was the good kid. And I'm putting air quotes in there for people who are just listening. I'm putting air quotes in there because I felt like I was the good kid. Like, I didn't do anything. Like, I never did drugs. Like I wasn't drinking. I didn't start drinking until I got to college. And I wasn't in college yet. And so like I just went to work, and I tried to, I was just trying to make it. I was a kid, basically. I was still a kid, you're 19, 20 years old, like you're a child. So I just couldn't believe that I was the one being stopped and that I was being harassed this way. And so from there, I'm just always like, okay, like you could be doing everything right.
Yeah.
And things can still go differently for you. And so, but at the same time, like you can't, every interaction with police officers can't be a bad one, especially like from your end. You got to try to like do your best to diffuse or, not give them a reason at the very least.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Cause I have some stories too, but yeah, that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother podcast, right?
Yeah, yep.
It's so interesting how things can happen like that. But I hear like you said God a few times, and I mentioned it because I am a believer, and that is a big part of who I am and what I, how I live. So like how has that impacted you? I heard you say thank God.
Oh, that impacted me a lot. I mean, if I feel like if I didn't have God, in my life, everything would just be totally different. That's the first thing I think about when I wake up. Like I'm grateful and I thank God. I'm just grateful every day.
Right.
That's a big
Same here. Same here.
Yeah.
So as we come to a close here on this amazing conversation, I have 3 whats. Okay. That's going to be our last number. 3 whats.
All right.
So first one is going to be, what advice would you give to someone that's trying to do what you do?
What advice would I give to someone that's trying to do what I'm doing? Mm-hmm. Okay. So anybody, if you want to be an influencer, well, not even an influencer, if you want to just be yourself and just post videos online, because I know it takes a lot of confidence, because some people don't even post videos because they're not confident in posting them. I would say just be you and post the videos. They're not going to be 100% every time, but when you're authentic and you're just showing your life, people want to see that. People want to know what you do on a day-to-day basis. They want to know more about you. So just be authentic and just have faith and know that whatever you put in video, the right people will come and find that video that want to see more about you. So don't be afraid to post that video. If you want to post that video, post the video today. Don't be afraid to post it. The hardest thing is just getting over that first fear. So once you post that video, it's going to get easier and easier. So if you want to post a video, go ahead and post it.
Go ahead and do it. Okay. If you weren't doing, I guess we call it influencer, right? If you weren't doing the social media thing with the videos and running your life that way, making a living that way, what would you be doing?
I would still be making t-shirts. I had a t-shirt business that it was named after my daughter. It was named Jade's Fashion Bar. But in the end of last year, I sold all of my equipment to go full force with this, because it was tugging at my heart. It was like I had did the t-shirt business, making like custom t-shirts, bags, things of that nature, like car decals. I had did that for a few years. And when this came along and I started going viral, it was like I was spending my time doing both of them, and I had to focus on one thing. So I just focused on being an influencer. But if I wasn't doing this, I would still be making t-shirts, because I love that business. I love to just bring t-shirts to life. I'll put quotes on there, pictures on there.
You're a creator.
Yeah, I'm a creator at heart. So I would be doing that.
You'd always be creating in some way. Like if it wasn't videos, like it could be t-shirts. If it wasn't t-shirts, it'll be, music, or it could be, making your own food. I don't know, but like, you just create. You're like, your mind's always going like, okay, this is the next idea that I have. I got to bring it to life some way. That's awesome.
And that's been like that since I've been little. Like I always love to draw. I always love to create. So that's gonna stick with me forever.
Okay, last question before we get out of here. What are you giving the most attention to right now?
What am I giving the most attention to?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like anything in life, or is like
wherever you want to go?
Can you repeat it? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, wherever you want to go. What are you giving the most attention to right now?
Oh, okay. What I'm giving the most attention to is my videos. I want to influence people in a positive way. I want to show them that you can come out of that like poverty, and you can use social media to its advantage, because social media ad rep all the time. You have to have balance. You don't have to have too much of social media, but when people encounter my page, I want them to either leave laughing or motivated. So every day I'm working to create scripts that have a message. Not like, I don't just post the videos for fun. I want them to have a message. I want somebody to, they might not have somebody to talk to, so they can talk to me through the video. Like in the comment sections, I respond back. And
like, oh, that's my girl Neekee from Georgia.
So even if they watch the video, they can leave laughing. If they don't have anything positive in their life, I want them to leave my page being either motivated or being entertained. So my main focus is these videos, to get it out to the world, to as many people as I can, so they can have a better day.
Wow, I think that is a great place to put it. Whether you come across Neekee the Millennial on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or wherever, TikTok, she wants you to leave her page motivated and or entertained at the very least. Okay, where can they find you? Throw out your socials.
All right, y'all can find me I'm mostly on Facebook and TikTok, but I'm on YouTube and IG as well. Yeah, you can find me on there at Neekee The Millennial. Neekee is spelled Neekee. So if you just type in Neekee The Millennial, it's gonna come up. I'm basically on all platforms, so you can find me.
She's grinding, she's hustling, she's an entertainer, she's a creator, she's from Georgia, and she's gonna prank her husband here pretty soon because I want to see that video. Shout out to Eric, shout out to Kia, shout out to the spouses who support us, who love us. Shout out to the kids because we love them, and that's that's part of why we do it. So this is your host, Tony Rambles, signing off. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. If you're listening to this on YouTube, throw some comments in there. If you get to the end, just say what up though, because I'm from Detroit and that's what we say. Or you could put your favorite place that you like to eat. I might throw some Whataburger down. You can follow me on Instagram at _Tony Rambles _. You can follow me on TikTok as well at _Tony Rambles _ as well. I'm on YouTube, obviously. I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere you listen to podcasts. And I think that's a wrap.
Good. Cool.
All right, guys. Shout out to everybody listening on Wisdom as well. This has been episode 41. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.
Peace.
All right. Hey, Neekee.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still good. I just ended the stream on, hopefully I ended it.